go, open your third eye. I'm gonna slide in it, you know? You go all nervous, you're like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna pinch my nipples or what. I know Austin's weird, but I ain't that weird. I don't know, this is my first time, I'm Canadian, so I will sound like this for the next 10 minutes. Everyone's like, what part of Wisconsin are you from? I'm like, I don't know, the north part? They're like, North Wisconsin? I'm like, yeah, dude, Canada. It's good though, I like Austin, it's cool here. I thought it was gonna be like Texas, you know what I mean? I've never been to Texas before, but like, you guys are pretty like, not Texas in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like it's liberal here a little bit, right? Like I haven't seen one open carry and I'm like, fuck yeah, you know? But it's fun though because like I've seen a lot of like gender neutral washrooms and like that I thought like you guys wouldn't have them here, but it's pretty progressive and like I like the gender neutral washrooms, you know what I mean? But the only reason I like them is because you really get to smell what equality smells like now. But slow burner for some of you guys, eh? It's America, right? So I like it though because times change and people's beliefs don't, right? And I always, every time I go into one, I at least see like one middle-aged white man just fucking losing it, right? And I saw it, all right, and like hindsight's 20/20. I probably shouldn't have approached him from the rear as I did, but you know what I mean? I'm a curious cat, about 6 pounds, love my whiskers, you know, right? So I saw him uncomfortable, arms were crossed, similar to yours, right? And I went out behind him and I said, hey man, you look uncomfortable, what's up, right? And that right there was enough for him to be like, I am uncomfortable, right? And so I went, what's up? He goes, I just don't understand why women are using the same washroom as men. That's what he said. And I said, well, I can give you 1 or 2 reasons why anyone uses a washroom, you know? Maybe a third one if they need a pick-me-up, you know, right? There you go, a couple cokeheads in the back there. One guy's like, washroom, what? Right? But then he goes, well, I just don't agree with it. You know what I mean? Let me ask you this as a man. Don't you think we're sharing enough, huh? We have to share half of our shit, and now we're sharing a place, half of where we take our shit. Right? That's what he said, and I went, oh, I get it now. This guy's divorced. Okay, I get it. Right? Where I'm going, I gotta be reminded I said it, right? We're losing it. So I try to ease it up, right? Where I'm like, hey man, like if anything, look about it this way, you know? At least we gotta look at some girls while we're going to the washroom, right? And he goes, yeah, well what happens if you have an uncomfortable bladder like I do, right? And you don't want a woman to come in here and show you up now. That's what he said, and I laughed in his face because that's where I clocked out, you know? It was like, show you up. It's 2 separate sports, man. You know what I mean? Like we're playing hockey, they're playing ringette. I don't get it at all, because then the mental image of a woman showing me up in my head came in. The only way you girls can show me up in the washroom is if I'm lined up, ready to go to the urinal, right? And all of a sudden you come in, boom, hit check, the door open. Real aggro, thick neck, probably played high school football, right? Scanning the area for the weakest neck, sees that it's me, walks me up, grabs me by the back of the collar, right? Just disables me like a kitten in transport, you know? Right? Just looking at her like this, and then she throws me out of the way of the urinal, walks up to it, hikes her skirt to the side, throws a thumb over it like a garden hose, and just hits the back of the porcelain. I'm talking power piss, calf raise, glutes engaged, core stable, shooting a golden arch, right? Take me to McDonald's and feed me that quarter pounder, Brittany, right? Just standing it. All while she's finishing a tall boy though, right? So she's guzzling it, crushes it on her forehead, aces it in the bin, looks at me, goes, get fucked, and then walks out. And at that point, you've earned it, girlfriend. Are you kidding me? I'm sitting down to piss like I do in the middle of the night, you know? Daddy's knees are tired and they need a break, you know? I'll even make sure I wipe front to back like a good little boy. That's good though. I like being here in Austin, except for like, everybody's been thinking I'm on drugs because apparently I don't blink enough for you guys. Which has been kind of weird. They're like, hey man, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Like, what are we talking about here, right? He's like, no, you haven't blinked for a while. I'm like, well, I don't feel the need to blink. You know what I mean? The whole point of blinking is to refresh your eyes. Mine just stay fresh, you know? That's how I feel. And plus, I'd rather people think I'm on drugs for not blinking than blinking too much and think I need drugs, though. You know, right? Because this says something's going on, but this says something needs to be dealt with. You know? And I like got that thing when you look at someone, you're like, oh, the lights are on, but nobody's home with me. You know, there's a fucking dinner party going on, you know? She's got an old Italian lady in the kitchen, just like, get out of the kitchen! You know? What's in the sauce? Right? I like it, but I don't even do anything, man. Why do stuff, you know? But like, I don't drink and stuff. I'm sober. Well, like, I don't know. I should probably rephrase that because some people. I smoke weed and do mushrooms. I'm not a fucking pussy, you know. But I don't like drink or do like hard drugs anymore and stuff. And like, I don't know. I find it fun because I took a long break. I don't know about you guys. Like during COVID, well, you guys didn't really have it here, but up in Canada, they made us take 19 shots just to leave the house. Sorry, I just wanted to check in with you. You're looking fucking really stoned right now. You're staring at me like that Megan doll. Just fucking. I'm looking at your man, seeing if he's got his hand up your ass. I don't do much and shit, and like I don't know. I took a huge tolerance break from everything. That was what I did during COVID, right? Because I was a piece of shit, you know, just getting drunk, smashing. You know what I mean? Hitting the gash and dashing, you know what I mean? You look like a guy who's a eligible fuckboy for sure. Sure, so I felt like I bonded with you. You know? That's what I did, but I took a break from everything. Like, I don't know what you guys here have this fucking Delta 9 shit or whatever the fuck it is here, but it's not weed. You know what I mean? It's like diet weed, right? Zero the fucking THC, all of the taste. And like, I don't know, my thing was like, I got so high like I did before, and like, that's why I like Canada. I don't understand how America hasn't legalized it federally across the board, right? And like, I think it should be, you know? And I have a buddy who moved from Singapore, and he immigrated to Canada just because we can fly with 30 grams of marijuana anywhere in Canada, and it's fucking wicked going through TSA, because they're like, what's in the jar? You're like, just my flower, you know? They open it up, just the whole airport reeks, and you're like, that big ass flower! And like all the TSA people are like fucking sweet, you know? I get a pinch and hug, but what can you do, right? You gotta pay the toll, you know? Like, well, my buddy moved from Singapore and he loved it, right? And he's like, I moved to Canada because weed's legal. And I was like, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, man, my country laws are pretty strict. I can't even like chew bubble gum in Singapore. Singapore, if I get caught spitting it out, I can go to jail. And I said, you can go to jail for bubble gum? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you could not be hard at all in jail, right? You're there with convicted killers. The guy's like, what are you in for? You're like, shit, a double bubble trouble, motherfucker, was good. You know, right? And like, I remember these things that I used to have to do to like hide the smell of weed before it was legal. And what me and my buddies used to do, because I've been smoking pot since I was 12, you know what I mean? Because it's fucking cold up there, you gotta get high, right? And so what I did was me and my buddies didn't want to get busted by our teachers, right? So what we thought as 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds was if we smoke weed in our clothes, then our clothes should smell like weed. But if we don't smoke weed in our clothes, then our clothes shouldn't smell like weed, right? So our brilliant idea was if we're getting high, let's go in the garage, but first we'll take off all our clothes, and then we'll go into the garage and smoke joints in our underwear, right? And that's what we did. We did this for a while, you know? We just get high as kids would in the garage, looking at each other, who has the smallest panos of the group, right? You're just like, oh, it's Tim, look at his small dick, you know? But 14, everyone's got a small dick, you know, right? And we were smoking this joint, and I remember we did this for weeks, and then all of a sudden we were getting high in the garage, and we heard, and the garage door started to open, right? And there in the middle of the driveway was Cordell's dad staring at us like a lemur in the night, being like, what the fuck am I looking at, right? Because imagine that, you're coming home, right? And you're expecting a nice cold cut in the fridge, but instead you got your son and his 4 buddies paninis hanging out in the garage. Scared shitless, just like, oh, what do I do, right? Cordell leans in and goes, don't move. If you move, he will see us. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's not a T-Rex, but I'm high enough to go with this, right? It felt like forever, but it was probably only 15 seconds, and then Cordell's dad just closed the garage door. And we never spoke of it, ever, right? Until one day I was like, Cordell, did your dad ever say anything about that day? And he goes, yeah, the day he caught us in the garage in our underwear. I said, whatever fucking day is there, dude? And he goes, yeah, I'm pretty sure he said something. I said, what did he say? He goes, pretty sure he thought we were doing gay shit, 100%. So why, what makes you say that? And he goes, because the next morning he said, Cordell, I don't know what you and your friends were doing in the garage there, pal, but just remember, love is love and I love you. And you know what, Austin, man, this is my last day here. I love you guys. Thanks for letting me yell at you. Thanks for Thanks for, I'm a Canadian boy. Thanks for